Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? Good, I hope. It's beautiful today. So I have been guided to pull a card and talk a little bit today. I kind of already have an idea in my head, but I guess one of the things that I'm too old to sit on the ground, but this is the only way I can record and pull a card at the same time. So anyways, so I kind of have an idea of what the council has been asking me to talk about today, but one of the things that they have me working on, particularly in the last few months, is kind of like blending timelines, trusting my intuition. This is kind of a reading for myself too. So thank you very much, everybody. So let's see what they pull for us as far as the card, and then we'll see if that aligns with what I've been getting messages. I've already getting like a bunch of downloads already. But I guess you know what? I'm gonna take about 5 minutes, and because some of y'all may be like, what is does this girl out of her goddamn mind? And you know, honestly, when I started this last awakening, particularly because, you know, about 3 years ago I was coming out of a not so great place, I thought, well, you know what, I up and burned out my last damn brain cell. But luckily that came to be not true, and just my gifts were expanding. I had an incredible expansion at that time that I went. It's kind of like the phoenix rising. I needed to burn out old timelines, old storylines, karma, family karma, and that's how we do it. Or if your blueprint, your life path is something similar to mine, which a lot of us East Siders have a very similar life path, maybe different details within it, but it's similar in that a lot of the movies that we all used to find ourselves connecting to have elements of truth within what we're here to do. So just to kind of give a little bit on what I do and how I read, my crown is very open. And as a result of it being open in this way, I get messages from your higher self. And in case you don't know what, because there's a lot of phrases that people aren't aware of, and as this next awakening is going to move forward, it's actually already started. So if you're finding yourself in more stress or more turmoil or more problems, or you're just feeling like, oh my gosh, what the hell is going on? This is weird. All these weird things are happening. You're in the process of awakening. And so how I get information is, if you think about it, we're kind of like avatars here on Earth. And yeah, we have free will, and that's like the point of coming to Earth, is because of the free will, and we get to choose, and we learn through the choices that we make. But at the same time, we also come with a storyline, or actually a few storylines, and we have to figure out, well, do we hold on to those storylines, or do we nix them? Let me tell you, I had to nix a few of mine because they sucked. I didn't even like those stories. I don't know what the hell I signed. You know what? I think someone tricked me, to be honest. But nevertheless, let's get back to this discussion. So where was I? Like, you know what? They're saying, shut up, Jessica, and pull a card, but I'm not listening. Okay. So anyway, so the whole point is coming and expressing our free will, but then following the blueprint of our soul. And this is a very peculiar time. It's the only time in all of humanity that there's a mass awakening, much less the ascension of the dimensional aspects of Earth with living beings on it, first time ever. So there's a lot of things that are happening. So there's a lot of investment, and there's some of us that signed up for this role that we would help in the awakening of the general public. And as part of that, whoever's in that position, you would need communication with the higher realms, just because, we're human. I don't know anything more than you know of anything. But to have an open crown to communicate with all things in all dimensions. But again, your higher self is basically your God self controlling you here on the earth. We're multi-dimensional, so we live in a lot of different dimensions all at the same time that most of us are not aware of. And that's kind of what our dream state is. So we have a very poor understanding of psychology, even with the leaps and bounds that it has made in the last 100 years. And given I worked in the mental health field for a very long time, what I am aware of, or what my truth is now about it, we are so limited in our understanding with mental health concerns, or just the psychology of humanity in general. But so anyway, so I do get information from individual higher selves, depending upon whom I'm working with or how I'm meeting. And remember, even if you were to watch this a year later from here, time is only linear here on Earth. So it's fluid everywhere else. So, I very well could be getting information from your higher self as well, even though I'm here in, what is it? I don't even know what the date is, but in 2021, October. I think it might be the 4th. Yeah, my brother's birthday's in a couple of days. So anyways, so I also get it from oversouls. So the reason that a lot of us are interconnected is because even though we are individuals coming from different families, there is an oversoul, which is a larger collection of souls that is one, that has millions of souls underneath it. And we might be part of the same oversoul. And then you just keep going up the dimensions until you get to what some call supreme consciousness. But that's, there's many layers of dimensions. And you kind of think about it in a sense of like schooling for the soul. No dimension is any better than the other. It's just a progression of steps that your soul does to get to where it wants to go. And that's that. So I do get information that comes in from what we would consider angelic. Angelic is both above and below. And extraterrestrial, passed on loved ones, like I said, your higher self. My higher self very much is connected to the Akash of the earth plane. So it's kind of like everyone has a book of their life experiences, or like the important things to remember. And actually it's I guess that's just a simpler way for me to explain it, but I do have access to that library. And here's where it kind of gets a little, because people are like, well, what the hell? I don't get access to anything your higher self doesn't improve my higher self to get. So it's not like, I know that there are times that there are ways that people feel like their privacy has been invaded, and that's complicated. It has to do with soul contracts and different things that maybe were supposed to happen to do the Phoenix Rising, to blast you out, to do the Dark Night of the Soul, whatever you want to call it. And also there are some, I don't want to say dark forces, because that sounds so, but there are more lower density, lower ego, lower polarity, negative polarity aspects within the universe, within the earth plane, within ourselves, that there is trickery that ends up happening as well, that kind of cycles down. So it's complicated, but so that's how I get information. And one of my preferences these days for information to get in is through light language. And currently I'm working on vocalizing different languages within the universe. Right now the movement is mainly where I get a lot of language funneling through. And I like that. It feels good to move, and that's why it's really encouraged for any of you if you are feeling this need to speak in gibberish, or to move your body, or to express yourself through creativity. It's likely that there is a light language that's moving through you, that's helping you either uncover your own truth, your own, what you need to get busy with, or how that may help the collective consciousness. And if that's a term you don't know about, collective consciousness, look it up and learn about it, because that's really an important fundamental understanding to help you move into where you need to be, because shit is happening. So, all right, let's see, 10 minutes in. That's okay. I better get these with these cards. Oh, okay, so I'm gonna take this one. Let's see, it gave me 2, so I don't know what this one is called because it had me. Oh, you want me to look at these 2? Okay. So it's funny that we were just talking about movement, because what popped out is Eternal Dance. And here's the other side of the card. And how the card reads. Oh wow, okay, so this message is just as much for me as it is for you. Okay, so we got 3 cards here. We have the Eternal Dance, Movement, Wheel of Life, Path of Least Resistance. So this does align with what I was being asked to share today. So I'm going to just kind of clear the space a little bit. See, like the light codes are coming down. We'll see how this shows up on the film, but I can definitely see in the background the sun rays coming in. So what this is frankincense and lavender. And frankincense, of course, is, you know, a gifted, very, very old essential oil.